In what fans are calling one of the most emotionally confusing days in recent BTS history, new studio footage has surfaced showing BTS members Jimin and Jungkook working intensely in a recording session while Jin was notably absent, busy fronting a stylish campaign for athleisure giant Alo Yoga. The contrasting images, one showing the trio surrounded by microphones and headphones in a cozy studio, the other showing Jin looking flawless in head-to-toe Alo attire, have sparked a wave of speculation across fandom spaces. On X, formerly Twitter, clips of the studio session shared by @BTS Charts Daily C ignited conversations about an impending group project, possibly even the long-awaited 2026 BTS reunion. But, in the same breath, fans were left wondering why Jin wasn't present, especially as the oldest member, who just finished a grueling solo concert tour across Europe. As those clips made the rounds, another post went viral from @AboutMusicYT, featuring Jin standing strong and serene on a rooftop, clad in full Alo Yoga gear, from cap to socks. While he looked confident and composed, fans couldn't help but feel the emotional sting of his absence from the studio recording. Was this a strategic solo move, a scheduling conflict, or was there something deeper and more unsettling behind the scenes? Comments flooded in, with one user writing, "Why is Jin always left out when it matters most? Is this Alo collab a distraction or a silent statement?" Another simply posted, "3 in the studio, 1 in the spotlight, but alone. My heart hurts." Some fans speculate that Jin may be pursuing a parallel path, deepening his influence in fashion, while still keeping doors open for music. Others fear this may signal a temporary drift within the group, especially since this isn't the first time Jin has appeared to be on a different path. His absence from the recording session, juxtaposed with his serene yet solitary fashion shoot, raises questions about his emotional and creative alignment with the other members at this pivotal moment in BTS's evolution. As the fandom holds its breath, the contrast between sweat and sound in the studio and the crisp stillness of a fashion shoot couldn't be more glaring. One thing is certain, Jin's silence is louder than ever. Whether it's a pause or a pivot, ARMY is watching, waiting, and hoping that this isn't the beginning of a deeper separation. As Jin's photos for Alo Yoga continued circulating online, fans couldn't help but analyze every detail, from the stark ocean skyline behind him to the intense calmness in his eyes. The contrast to the hustle and collaborative vibe of the BTS studio clip was almost poetic. Was Jin choosing serenity over the studio chaos, or was he excluded from something bigger brewing behind closed doors? Observers on social media pointed out that this isn't the first time Jin has taken a more solitary path. Since his return from the military and the conclusion of his successful Run Seokjin EP tour, Jin has largely pursued fashion and solo appearances. While fans welcomed his Alo Yoga collaboration with open arms, many also confessed to feeling conflicted, proud of his independence but aching for the missing synergy with the other members. "It's like watching a star shine alone in a different sky," one fan wrote on X. "I love the photos, but I can't lie, I miss seeing him in the studio with the rest." Adding more fuel to the discussion, Jin has remained silent about the recent studio footage. No statement, no interaction, not even a like on related posts. The silence has been deafening. And in the world of BTS, where every member's move is carefully watched and interpreted, that silence is now sparking theories. Is there a creative divide forming? Could this suggest Jin's pivot away from group projects for now? Meanwhile, Jimin and Jungkook's vibe in the studio seemed intimate, focused, and familiar, reminiscent of pre-debut days when the trio would practice for hours on end. There's a noticeable warmth, a flow, and a rhythm between them. The stark absence of Jin is a wound felt not just visually, but emotionally, for longtime fans who've celebrated the group's bond for over a decade. Some fans even wondered if Alo Yoga was strategically chosen as a statement partnership for Jin to represent peace, control, self-awareness, and distance. As if he's choosing to heal and grow away from the noise, both musically and relationally. Only time will tell whether Jin will rejoin his bandmates in the studio or continue carving out his path through fashion and solo ventures. But one thing is clear, the divide, whether real or imagined, has touched a nerve. The fandom isn't just watching. They're feeling everything. And for now, the microphone sits in the studio without Jin. The camera clicks on a rooftop without the other members. 2 parallel worlds. One group. One uncertain rhythm. As fans attempt to make sense of the distance between Jin and the rest of the members, particularly in light of the Alo Yoga collaboration and the studio clip featuring Jimin and Jungkook, a deeper question begins to echo through the fandom. Has something shifted permanently within BTS? In recent weeks, Jin has increasingly positioned himself in the fashion and wellness spotlight, stepping onto global magazine covers, partnering with brands like Fred Jewelry and now Alo Yoga, and being spotted solo in multiple high-profile public appearances. Each new campaign feels like a statement, a declaration of independence, but also, to some fans, a cry from someone who's no longer tethered to the same creative nucleus as before. Meanwhile, the studio clip from Jimin, V, and Jungkook seemed intimate. It wasn't an official announcement, it wasn't a polished teaser, it was raw, candid, personal. And in its authenticity, it screamed something unspoken. They were moving forward, perhaps with or without all seven. That's what makes the absence of Jin from that moment feel so heavy. Not because he has to be in every studio session or every project, but because when something as monumental as a potential BTS subunit is in the works, and one of the most emotionally connected members is nowhere in sight, it raises more than just eyebrows. It raises concern. Is Jin pulling away? Or has he been left behind? Adding to the speculation is how calculated Jin's recent public appearances feel. The serene yet somber tone of the Alo Yoga campaign, drenched in ocean blues, dark tones, and reflective silence, feels more like an epilogue than a prelude. And while fans celebrate his stunning visuals and solo evolution, they can't ignore the gaping emotional distance that seems to grow wider with every solo appearance. It doesn't help that neither Big Hit nor any of the BTS members have directly addressed the studio rumors. In the vacuum of answers, fans are left clinging to body language, timestamps, and Twitter likes, trying to piece together a puzzle with missing edges. One particularly viral tweet captured the mood. Watching Jimin, V, and Jungkook together in the studio felt like coming home, but realizing Jin isn't there, it feels like losing a family member at dinner. Another replied, "Alo Yoga Jin looks powerful, but something about his eyes says he's still waiting for someone to call him back." Whether this growing divide is temporary or something more permanent remains uncertain. But in the world of BTS, where every detail matters and every member carries emotional weight for millions, Jin's quiet solitude speaks volumes. And tonight, while three members may be writing a new melody behind studio walls, Jin stands under open skies, aloof, elegant, and just a little too far from the music. As silence continues to linger from Big Hit and the rest of BTS, fans are left wondering whether this distance between Jin and the younger members is just temporary or quietly permanent. In a group once defined by unbreakable brotherhood and emotional transparency, this invisible wall feels chillingly unfamiliar. For years, Jin has been known as the glue of BTS, the one who gently ribbed the maknae line while grounding the group with his young presence. His humor, warmth, and unmistakable energy were the emotional rhythm of countless behind-the-scenes memories. But in this new era, where polished solo projects and high-profile campaigns are the norm, Jin seems to be floating just outside the gravitational pull of BTS, and perhaps by choice. Some ARMY have begun to connect dots that the company has long left unspoken. Jin's Alo Yoga collaboration, stunning as it was, carried undertones of solitude. He was not promoting group legacy, but a personal rebirth. The messages between the visuals, a man evolving yet maybe evolving alone. Complicating matters further is the recent activity from Jimin, V, and Jungkook. Studio footage from LA was supposed to excite fans, and it did, but it also pierced something raw. A comment from a longtime ARMY went viral just hours after the video dropped. "I didn't realize how painful it would feel to see the studio door closed. And no, Jin wasn't behind it." Adding to the confusion is the fact that Jin was in LA. Same city, same week, spotted with friends, at cafes, even at the beach. So why wasn't he there in the studio, even for support? Did he not know? Was he not invited? Or worse, did he choose not to be? Fans have flooded social platforms with theories. Some believe this is simply a strategic split for artistic independence. Others worry it's a reflection of deeper emotional scars left by the military service gap and the pressures of post-BTS life. And then there are those who whisper something more haunting, that maybe this is the beginning of something breaking. A former staff member speaking anonymously to a fan blog added fuel to the fire, saying, "Jin's always had his own rhythm, but lately, it's like he's waiting for the others to catch up or for someone to ask him to come back and see."